All right, everyone. Greetings from 2K Sports. Get ready for some NBA action. And on tap tonight, it's the Detroit Pistons going up against the New York Knicks. Welcome, everyone. Courtside with two ex-NBA stars, Grant Hill and Brent Barry. I'm Brian Anderson. We've got Allie LaForce on the sidelines tonight as well. And now the opening lineup for New York. Josh Hart is out there with OG Anunoby. Then it's Mikal Bridges. Then there's Jalen Brunson. And it's Towns in at center. And for Detroit, Thompson and Harris are the 3 and the 4. Cunningham and Ivy work together as the backcourt. And it's Duren in at the center position. A battle of the big men. Grab some popcorn for this face-off at the center position tonight, Grant.
Oh, no question, B.A. I mean, these bigs bring the size and skill. Who has more tools in their toolkit? I mean, we're about to find out.
So the Pistons will get the first possession. Cunningham passes to Harris. Thompson outside. The 3 is up. Pure from three-point range.
Thompson continuing to work on that shot, hoping to become more consistent as an outside threat.
Pass to Anunoby. Yes, and a nice assist from Brunson.
And both teams running long-range plays that are working.
Well, both of them looking towards the three-point line, and I like to see that, especially when the results are made buckets.
Well, Brent, the 23-24 Pistons tied an NBA record by losing 23 straight. One bright spot, however, was Jalen Duren.
Well, the bright spot, BA, would be that you wouldn't mention that again, so let's just forget about that and put it behind us. But Jalen Duren did have some moments. He averaged a double-double that season at just 20 years of age. So sky is still the limit for this young, big, physical player.
And at 6'10", Jalen Duren is an incredible athlete for his size.
Yeah, he's got a lot of bounce, which helps him as a rim protector, rebounder, and lob threat. Plus, he's got quick feet, and he's able to guard smaller guys on the perimeter.
Second free throw, no good. All right, guys, we're lucky to have Shams Charania joining us now. Our 2K insider calling in with a story. What do you got, Shams?
Well, guys, a big story this summer was Jalen Brunson signing a team-friendly extension, leaving an unprecedented amount of money on the table, but providing the Knicks with the opportunity to lock in this tight-knit core and contend in the East at the highest of levels for years to come.
A team to be reckoned with. Shams, thank you for the report. That free throw, no good. And Mikal Bridges, still one of the better wing defenders in the league, Grant.
Yeah, he's so great at pestering a shooter. Good lateral movement and wingspan makes him hard to get around. He might not be the best in the league, but he is well above average.
Good on the second one. Well, if the Pistons are going to turn things around, Brent, it needs to start on the defensive end.
Yeah, that's part of it, BA. It's not surprising that they've been in the bottom 5 defensively over the past couple years, and that's what happens when you pile up a bunch of young players who want to prove themselves, and by proving themselves, it usually starts on the offensive end. We'll see if these guys being together start to take some pride in stopping their opponents.
Here's Brunson. Thompson pulls it in. Detroit has gone 1 of 2 from three-point land so far. Jalen Brunson grabs a miss. And so it's Brunson with it. He brings it up for the New York Knicks. And we're about a minute and a half into the first quarter. And Ivy pulls it down.
Well, mid-range is where he makes the money. So when the D's slow to get out on him, always surprising to see a miss from there.
Now here's Thompson. In his last outing, 8 points for him. Out of bounds, it'll be New York's ball.
New York basketball.
For New York, they've gone 1 for 3 so far. And Allie LaForce spoke with J.B. Bickerstaff. Allie?
And he said when you watch film on Karl Anthony Towns, his size is impressive, but when you're actually standing next to him, he looks a whole lot bigger. And he knows how to use that size on the blocks and on the perimeter, which makes him an especially tough cover. Brian?
Okay, good stuff. Thank you, Allie. And Detroit has possession. After the basket by New York on the other end. And that one's good. Cunningham.
And how about Cade just pushing through that time to finish it off?
Pass to Anunoby. Towns outside. Three-pointer. The rebound by Detroit. Coming off that win against the Sixers.
And as a rule of thumb, the road can really test your team's depth. But they all stepped up and collectively produced a lot of points.
Yeah, and watching that, all kinds of contributions and just little things that guys were doing to chip in for that win.
Now here's Cunningham. What a tremendous game he played against Philadelphia. It's good.
They're going to work inside. I like how confident Jalen is from this area.
2 minutes remaining in the first. 2 minutes.
Towns a screen on Cunningham. Cunningham against Brunson. Pass to Hart. Bridges with it. 5 on the clock. Wing shot on the way. And he buries that one. Back rim and in.
Yeah, picking his spots. Bridges does a great job of letting the game come to him.
And the timeout called here by J.B. Bickerstaff. We might see him looking to make some tweaks to the strategy here. For the Pistons. Stewart, he's checked in for Tobias Harris. Hardaway comes in for Thompson. Beasley's checked in for Ivy. And it's Schroeder in for Cade Cunningham. MP's checked in for New York. McBride comes in for Bridges. Now here's Schroeder. A 14-point game for him in the win against Philadelphia. Stolen by Reed. First quarter of play, and just over 3.5 minutes in, there's the triple. Schroeder with a rebound.
And he probably thought he was going to bury that one.
And Brent, this Knicks team, they've taken on the identity of their head coach.
Well, B.A., isn't it interesting? Tom Thibodeau, lots of scuttlebutt about him as the coach. And then they brought in players that kind of fit the coach. They play hard, they play defense first, they play a ton of minutes, but this team is gritty, and they don't give up.
You can bet MP will make a lot of those over his career.
Duran with a screen on Brunson. Up top, Schroeder. Brunson defending. Lets it fly. Schroeder can't get it to go.
The defense better tighten up on the mid-range. They're much, much tighter. You expect him to make every single one of those.
The Pistons trailing. Takes a three. It's not going to go for him. New York has gone 2 of 5 from deep. Just 2 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock. Reed, good.
MP, 3 points.
The Pistons have gone 4 of 8 and looking in control. And here's Hardaway. He also had a big impact in that win against the 76ers. From outside the arc. The shot no good. And that concludes the first quarter of play. Knicks out in front. They're up by 4. Quarter number 2 coming up right after this break. Don't go anywhere. If you're just joining us, we played through one quarter in this one. And from what we've seen from New York, what's your take so far?
They're getting a big contribution from the bench already.
Yeah, looking for a spark here, and the coach tapped the right guys to get out there and provide it.
Tim Hardaway is out there with Asar Thompson. Then it's Dennis Schroeder. Then it's Isaiah Stewart. And it's Beasley in at the two-guard position. That's the group for Detroit starting the second. Well, Grant, you were an excellent defender in your day. So who was the toughest player you had to guard?
Well, there's so many great players. Michael, LeBron. But let's talk about the late, great Kobe Bryant. I mean, he really had no weaknesses. And even if you defended him perfectly, there's a good chance he can still make the shot.
And the three-pointer goes.
Stewart just preparing himself ahead of the catch to be in rhythm for that jump.
Payne, the pass to Bridges. Starting the second quarter, about a minute gone. Oh, MP buries the triple.
Exactly what every offense needs. Shooters who can force the defense to extend.
Oh, there's no doubt he's a legitimate threat from downtown, and he's demonstrating that in this game.
Time now to hear from our reporter, Allie LaForce.
Thank you, Brian. Well, the Pistons have struggled despite the improvement of their young cornerstone, Cade Cunningham. He said, quote, "This league rewards winning. People are going to say everything I'm doing is empty and meaningless until I win games. That's what I plan on doing, and once I do that, all the other stuff will come with it." Guys?
That's a great perspective to keep right there, Allie. Thank you. And the foul called on MP. That's his first foul. Reed's checked in for the Pistons. Karl Anthony Towns has checked in for New York. Anunoby comes in for Payne. Second quarter here, just over a minute and a half played. And he takes the feed in stride and slams it home.
And Beasley at 6'4", able to rise up and throw it down.
And here's MP from outside. Hardaway grabs the board. Pistons trail by 10. Outside Schroeder. Inside. Here's Stewart. Out to Schroeder. Fires from deep. Stewart, the pass to Reed. Doubled by Towns. Back to Stewart. And finished off by Stewart.
And there is no quit in what Isaiah Stewart will do on the glass.
All right, Brent, what do you see in Isaiah Stewart's game?
Well, coming in, he's always been that junkyard dog mentality, right? Try to play physical, rebound, bump guys around. But there's a little bit more to Isaiah Stewart in the way that he can shoot the basketball, expanding his range and knocking down some three-pointers. So some flexibility and some creativity on the offensive end.
Now here's Hardaway. No points yet. Can't cash it in from close range. Knicks leading by 11. MP with it. He's picked up by Schroeder. Reed. Up again. Oh, he hangs in there and cashes in on the second chance points.
I'll tell you what, they are on fire this quarter, taking total command of this game.
And the timeout called here by J.B. Bickerstaff. And we might see some changes. Coach potentially looking to adjust. A big group substitution here for Detroit. Duren, he's checked in for Reed. Tobias Harris comes in for Stewart. Ivy's checked in for Hardaway. And Cade Cunningham subbed in for Schroeder. And the Knicks making a change here as well. Brunson's checked in. Ivy outside. Harris on the wing.
2 minutes remaining in the first half.
Beasley outside. Ivy up top. McBride covers. 6 to shoot. Pass to Duren. Out to Harris. Now Ivy launches it. The Knicks with the rebound. Towns has got 4 rebounds now from deep. MP. And again, New York with the triple.
They're getting torched on the perimeter. 4 of the last 5 buckets have been threes.
Harris outside. And here's Ivy from the arc. And again, no good by Detroit. Knicks leading by 16. MP outside. 4-3. And Cunningham pulls it down. Detroit has gone just 1 of 6 from the perimeter here in the second. Back to Ivy. Down low. Here's Duren. And the dunk by Duren.
Duren, one of the league's most powerful players, He doesn't mess around close to the basket.
And Brunson's got the ball here for New York. They've got the Rockets ahead of them next in Houston. They're getting into the back half of a 4-game road trip.
All 5 of the last buckets they've given up have been from downtown.
They need something good to happen here.
Yeah, they've gone way too long without a score. He is ferocious on alley-oops. With his good hands and wingspan, Duren makes for an easy target on the lob.
Oh, got that bucket in no time at all. MP's got 29.
Man, they're having a hard time defending the triple. That's 3 in a row.
Cunningham passes to Duren. Harris outside. And there's the screen. Back to Duren. The Pistons need to get one up quick. Tried to answer back, but that 3 is off the mark. MP outside. Fires top of the key. Here's Towns. And it's powered home by Towns.
And just an incredible effort on the offensive glass.
Wow, follows it up with the putback to finish the play. A dominating first half of play, and so far it hasn't been close. New York out in front, leading by 17. And join us right back here after the break for the start of the second half.
Fans, please direct your attention now to center court. And get ready for the fan half-court shot. Jerome, please. They're thinking about the shot. Ooh, you were so close. One more time, around the...
Hello, everybody. We're here to break it all down, and through the first half of play, it's a very commanding lead for the New York Knicks.
I couldn't tell the difference between their second unit and the first. That's how top to bottom together they've been, man.
Yeah, the others are shining like stars. Bench points have put this team over the top tonight.
All right, guys, time to see what the fans are saying on social media. Okay, guys, Houston Moon wants to know, Jet, would you ever consider coming back into the NBA to coach? It's an interesting one.
Oh, it's not interesting at all. I haven't given that much thought, only because I'd have to coach guys like Shaq, and he's not coachable.
Well, if Houston didn't have a problem before, they will after hiring Kenny.
Because, like I said, the players have your attitude.
And that's it for halftime. Thank you for joining us. We send you back to Brian Anderson for the start of the third quarter.
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next 2 quarters are any different from the first 2. So far, it's been a runaway. Hey, you look at MP in this game, he's been everywhere.
Through the first 2 quarters and change, his perimeter shooting continues to be spot on.
Yeah, you would hope the defense at least would start to consider creeping up on him just a little bit.
Now Cunningham. Over Brunson. And at the buzzer! Count it!
Just textbook. Kept his cool and waited for his shot.
That's exactly how you want to close out the quarter, too, with some confidence.
And so it's New York, liking their chances, ending the quarter with a 15-point lead. Building this lead up, in large part because of how well they're shooting it. We'll be back in a moment. And we take a listen in now to Tom Thibodeau on a recent huddle.
Defensively, make sure we're all getting rebounded. No second shot. In transition, everyone talking. No open threes in transition.
And Tom Thibodeau wanting his guys to pay particular attention to certain areas of their defense.
Yet taking care of the defensive boards, allowing no easy buckets on the fast break are key elements to their success.
Well, there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. Isaiah Stewart out there with Holland. Then it's Tim Hardaway. Then it's Malik Beasley. And it's Schroeder in at the point. That's the 5 on the floor for the Pistons. Now here's Schroeder. Driving inside. They swipe it. Fast break, New York. Reed, good. Reed's got 5 points now in the quarter.
It's been a dominant night for him, staying productive throughout.
Now here's Schroeder. Stewart outside. Holland for 3. The Knicks with the rebound. Towns has got 7 rebounds in the game.
And it's amazing. Their slim advantage on the board seems a lot larger than it is. And what's working here? Each guy is willing to make the next pass.
Stolen by Reed. He takes it in, laid it in with a nice touch off the window. Reed's got 39. And a closer look here at the hustle stats for New York.
Well, their D has been a major story tonight. I mean, those steals and putting pressure on the ball, clogging the passing lanes, impressive.
And I feel like another part of tonight's game has been the hustle points, getting up and down, getting second chances, getting transition opportunities. They've been fantastic in that area.
And the defense is really allowing them too much room on the perimeter.
Here's Schroeder. Stewart outside. Outside Hardaway. Shoots over Anunoby. Again, the miss by the Pistons.
The other team just looks more in sync and is riding the momentum.
Well, the other team is scorching hot, and they come down on this end and can't find a way to get the embers going.
Detroit has gone 0 for 3 here in the fourth. Schroeder passes to Hardaway. Beasley outside to win the drought. And again, no good by Detroit.
Probably not the shot that was drawn up for that possession, but you can't pass it up and you can't knock it down.
Reed can't hit.
Yeah, and the defense has really got to tighten up on him. I mean, he's just too dangerous from the three-point line.
That's tipped. Stolen by MP. Fires the 3. And again for 3.
All game long, the threes have been pouring in for him. There is nothing stopping his shot.
And you know this is already a game he'll never forget. He's trying to make it a game the world never forgets. Beasley for 3. And Anunoby pulls it down. Anunoby's got his 4th rebound in this one. MP inside. Detroit with a rebound. 1:42 left in the fourth. Payne against Schroeder. To the paint. Here's Holland. That one falls. Coming off Schroeder's feed. Schroeder's got 4 assists in the game.
It's safe to say they have dominated this game. The game wasn't even as close as the score says in a great win for the Knicks.
Good! Another from 3.
The parade of threes has no end in sight. He just keeps knocking them down.
And that latest triple ties him for 2nd for most threes in a game. What a monster performance from deep it's been. Out to Beasley. The 3-ball. Hits the trifecta.
He really has a nice stroke as Beasley's jumper is able to fall.
And here's New York now. They're on a 19-5 run. Reed can't hit.
You won't see him miss that one too many times.
Yeah, that happens. Important thing is for players, just don't beat yourself up and make a miss like that cost you another play. Any possession that ends in a shot from that range after a good player and ball movement, that's a good one.
Reed for 3. Connects again from distance.
And with that make, he stands alone with the 2nd most triples in a game.
Well, you got to think that every time he releases the ball from deep, it's going in. He just keeps raining down the threes. Lets it go from deep. And stolen by Stewart. Schroeder with it. And it's Anunoby picking him up. About 7 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Holland can't hit.
And he just hasn't been able to get it going this period.
No, I haven't seen him in comfortable spots, or at least spots we've seen in this offensive set that are allowing him to settle in.
Pass to Stewart. Hardaway on the wing. Outside Schroeder. Beasley with it. Outside Schroeder. And so New York takes this one by a big margin. This one wasn't even close. The hometown crowd was waiting for a miracle that never came.
Yeah, and this team was consistent throughout. They met every challenge, and they earned this dub.
And that'll do it, folks. For Brent Behring, Grant Hill, and Allie LaForce, this is Brian Anderson. Thank you for watching this 2K Sports presentation of the NBA. So long and good night, everyone.
So how you feeling about your recent play?
Not gonna lie, Coach, I feel pretty good.
So do we, which is why we think you're ready to run with the starters.
Coach, you playing with me? Oh my gosh, that's great. I've been looking forward to this opportunity.
Now remember when I told you this is a big boy league, MP?
Mm-hmm.
When the coaches make a move like this, it puts us in the crosshairs. It puts Cliff in the crosshairs too, because the buck stops with the general manager.
Well, like you said, it's a grown man's league, and if you can't handle that pressure, then you ain't gonna make it that far.
Glad we are understood.
Loud and clear, Coach.
It's time to prove you belong, MP. Good luck.
What's up, everybody? I see MP's made his way into the starting lineup. That's good for him, his team, the fans, everybody.